Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I got it this week as I'm sitting down for the FKA podcast. That's my new tradition now. I stand for the first one, I sit for the second one. We'll see how long that lasts. On the FKA podcast, I'm your host, Reed Wilson, joined by Trent Tatum. We're back again doing a two-man show as Seth is having a little problem due to a self-suck accident. So we're out here. We're just doing our own thing. We're gonna steal some shit from Reddit and give it to you. That's the meta on podcasts. That's the meta on FKA the Pod. Because if there's anything that the show is here, FKA the Pod, that's meta. We're meta AF. We got hella SEO, hella hashtags in our shit. You know, we're a real bitchin' joint.
You remember back in the early days of the podcast when Meta first came out? And we were joking around with the idea of like moving our podcast to Meta and having our little avatars do it.
That'd be really convenient, like a VTuber situation.
Yeah,
that'd be
pretty
great.
much.
But too bad we already put our faces online. That was probably back when we were thinking about being Canadian for some reason.
Yeah, it was around the same time, I think, for sure. But yeah, we've got some blatant rip-offs of Reddit today for you guys. Reed, were you like looking up something too, or?
I'm also on Reddit right now, and this is just some top of the show stuff. Katy Perry in a swimsuit being investigated in Spain for shooting on private protected land. So not normally what she's in the shits in there for. We got J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk getting caught up in a cyberbullying lawsuit by the Algerian boxer Amin Khalif, you know,
of course,
the boxer that everyone jumped on.
She won gold, by the way.
Yeah, which is awesome.
She fucking did the thing, dude. That's crazy. That's sick. In a cool way.
Yeah, it's dope.
But really quick, we almost forgot. We have drinks. I'm still drinking a banquet. I got a second one lined up here. So
I got a new Glarus Spotted Cow. This is my second one. I've got two more on the side if I get there, but who knows?
Nice. So today I am actually on the subreddit r/malicious compliance.
Okay.
And just so you guys know, malicious compliance is when, like, you know, maybe a server or something, like somebody asks the server to do some ridiculous thing, or your boss asks you to do a ridiculous thing. And instead of being like, no, I'm not going to do that, you do it so hard that it becomes a problem, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know, it's like, hey, don't stop running on the pool deck, you know, and you start skipping instead.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of loopholey, if you will. Yeah. But anyways, I have 5 stories lined up maybe for us to read, top from the past year. Do what?
Say it's a baker's dozen. We got 5 stories today.
That's right. It's top from the past year. I've picked out a few, and I have not vetted these, so they may be good, they may be bad. But we'll find out.
Good.
First story. The title says, "Need my uniform before you will give me my last paycheck? No problem." This is a story from my mom and my grandmother. They gave me permission to post. Quite a while ago, both my mom and my grandmother worked for one of the local casinos. At the time, the casino had a 90-day trial, and then you would get insurance. During the course of them working there, during the 90-day trial, the casino switched their policy to 18-month trial before getting insurance. So they then proceeded to find reasons, quote-unquote find reasons, to fire all of their employees who are coming up on the 90-day, so that they would not be grandfathered in. My mother knew this was coming because she saw a person after a person who had gone hired a little bit before her get fired for ridiculous reasons. So when she got called in the office the day after she had to go to the hospital for a severe allergic reaction, she knew what was coming. Parentheses, they marked it as a no-call, no-show because she started having a severe allergic reaction on shift and her EpiPen didn't work. She walks into the office. She's informed that due to her no-call, no-show, she is being let go effective immediately. She asked for her final check. They informed her that she would receive the check after she returned in her uniform. After she turned in her uniform, my mother proceeded to strip down to her underwear and bra, drop the uniform on the supervisor's desk, and demand her last check. She stood there in her underwear for 40 minutes while they tried to convince her to turn in the uniform at a later day. She said, "Nope. You said I'd get my check when I turned in my uniform. There's my uniform. I want my check." Eventually, they wrote out a check. She then walked out, taking the long route through the casino, saying her goodbye to all the staff and regulars on her way out. So, a couple days later, when my grandma had her shift, she knew what to expect because she was coming up on the same time frame. And my grandma proceeded to do the exact same thing. My grandma walked through the crowded casino in her underwear. So there's an example of malicious compliance.
They're just a bunch of exhibitionists, like,
I guess
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're only doing that to piss off the couple people who are in a position to make hiring and firing decisions, you know?
Yeah.
Then it's kind of weird that you take the long way when you're leaving.
Yeah, for sure. It is kind of weird that you're, like, not only embarrassing your bosses, but also
yourself.
It is kind of strange. Trying to scroll through some comments here too. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that would be my first.
I've never been fired, so
maybe I would like go to the gym in my uniform and then turn it in the next day or something. I don't know. There's not too much comments, just people also trying to one up each other with better stories, I guess.
Oh yeah, so. I took off my underwear too when I did it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I actually fucked the manager in the face after I gave him my uniform when they gave him a check. That's what I did. like okay, sure.
This person says, came to pick up a check at a fast food place when I was 16 on my day off. Was told I was being let go and to bring in my uniform to get my check. I was in the middle of washing it, went home, grabbed it out of the washing machine, tossed it in a garbage bag soaking wet, and plopped it on the counter when I got back. So that seems maybe a little more appropriate.
Yeah, it's also pretty mean though. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess it would be different if you knew that the boss was the one who would have to deal with it, right? Mm-hmm. But that's never going to be the case.
No, it's just going to be someone else who's on the same pay rung as you are.
Yeah.
If you're in a situation where you're wearing a uniform and getting fired because they don't want to give you health insurance. I know. Here's a little hot one for you. Get a different job. Like
that's a big way to some degree. Yeah, that's a big way to get back at your old boss for sure.
Yeah, it's like the best way. That's like the only way that actually matters because your boss doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like this person is crazy. They went nudist on us as they went full commune as they were leaving.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I guess that is kind of something that you have to think about too. Is like you can't really put that job on your resume anymore because there's always
didn't
the
even make it
opportunity
90 days.
Oh yeah, well yeah. There's no real reason, I guess, maybe to put that on there, but yeah.
That seems like some pre-Obamacare shit.
Probably. I mean, they said it was years ago, so
years, quote unquote years
ago. So,
long time ago.
Yeah. Did you have anything queued up, or do you want me to continue?
No, keep going. This is we're blatantly ripping it off. We're maliciously complying right now.
So this next post from a year ago says, "Company, maybe you can relate to this a little bit, man. Company doesn't allow me to have my phone." So I cost them $100K plus.
Oh, okay.
I originally posted this as a comment to a similar story as I had totally forgot it happened until reading that. The OP suggested I should share it as my own post, so here it goes. For you non-Redditors out there, OP means original poster.
Yeah, man, right, stop clout farming my comments, bro. Make your own goddamn post.
All right. I have worked in warehouses for years. A few years back, I was a contractor. Companies would hire us and bring in 20 plus people for a few weeks when they desperately needed help. I was a shift lead, usually the highest person on site, and the highest person on site. That's a funny way to put it.
Maybe that's why you were let go, bro.
Yeah. I needed to talk to my boss regularly throughout the day on a company phone. One warehouse had a policy where only managers could have their phone on the floor, and technically I wasn't a manager. Everyone under me was instructed to leave them in their car or a locker. However, I needed mine. One day I was talking on the phone to my boss, and one of the managers of the company we were working with see me and demanded I hand him my phone, and I refused. He then threatened to kick me out, so I rounded up all my workers and said we were taking a break. We all go outside, and I tell my boss what happened. He comes to the site instantly and starts talking to their boss and tells him I need my phone on the floor, but since I don't have manager in my title, they refuse. So my boss decided I can't do my job, so nobody under me can do theirs either. The end of the day, the other company is pissed we didn't get any work done and decides to cancel our contract, which costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars because it's written in the contract that they will have to pay to send us home before the original end date. We all still got paid and got 2 weeks off before having to go somewhere else.
Huge.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's huge.
That's so sick, dude.
People being assholes. It's like, you don't have the manager title in your time thing, so you can go eat shit and die.
Talk about power trips, dude. That's crazy. I will say, though, there are a lot of places that I have to go into sometimes that are like, you can't have your phone in them either.
Like FOD areas?
It's like, like radio frequency protected areas, right? So maybe it was something like that. I don't know.
But why could a manager have it?
Yeah, but that makes it weird if a manager can have a phone. It's just
managers are actually immune to RFID.
That's true.
They can't be hit by that radio frequency infrared identification. Is what the ID
I don't know, man.
You're the guy. You're the guy.
Letters. I don't know what those letters mean, bro.
You're the engineering guy.
Yeah, right. Of course, I forgot about that. So, anyways, that one's like cool because it ended with a reward.
Yeah, and like the bad guy got what they deserved. The bad person.
Yeah, that one was nice. Let's see.
We love a little just desserts on the FKA pod.
That's right. Banana pudding. It's my favorite.
I like lava cake. Ice cream.
All right. Here we go. Here's one from 10 months ago. It says, interviewer accuses me of parking in the handicap spot and tells me to prove it. Yikes.
Mind your own goddamn business. What the fuck are you doing?
Dude. A few years ago, while I was in school and job hunting, I got an interview at a company for office work. Filing, answering phones, setting appointments, etc. I was looking forward to getting an office job instead of retail or fast food. The building had big window walls that overlooked the parking lot so you could see cars pulling in and parking. I pull into the lot and park my car. I get out and walk into the office. Now as I'm walking in, I note that there is a car parked in the handicap spot in the front of the office. This car looks just like mine, I should note. So I walk in and I'm greeted by the manager, who kind of gives me a scowling look. It made me uneasy a little as we walked back into his office. We sit down and he is asking me questions in a bit of a clipped tone. He seems annoyed by my answers and I don't understand what's going on at this point. Finally he says, "Do you always park in handicap spaces?" I'm confused, so I ask him what he means. He goes on a rant about how entitled I am for parking in the handicap spot at a potential place of employment, and I'm just getting more lost. I asked him what is going on because I didn't park in the handicap spot. I'm parked in the lot. He argues with me and says he watched
or is this some dude? What? This dude's boss, or is this some guy?
It sounds like he's there for an interview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an interview. Yeah.
Well, that's an illegal question.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is.
You can't ask people if they're disabled.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Maybe that's why he asked, "Do you always park in handicap spaces?" Which is also like a fucked up way to say that.
Yeah.
So he argues with me and says he watched my car pull in and saw me park there. I again told him that I didn't park in a handicap spot, but the car that I walked by in that spot looked similar to my car. He says that he knows that he saw me park and get out of the car. At this point, I'm over the whole interview. I knew this would be a clusterfuck of a place to work for if this guy work for if this guy is the guy managing it.
Fair. Astute observation, frankly.
Then, yeah, for real. Then he goes a step further and says, "Prove it."
Oh,
I grab
that's
my
illegal.
purse. Yeah. Well, he says, "Prove that that's not your car."
Gotcha.
Right? Not prove that you're handicapped.
Prove you're disabled.
Prove it. I grab my purse and get my keys out. I don't even bother waiting for him. I just leave the office. He's jogging after me and hurried outside to stand and wait. His face went from smug arrogance to Pikachu real quiet. Smug arrogance to Pikachu real
you know,
quick.
like the Pikachu face? You know, like the...
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's some fucking Reddit shit, I guess. But also it is a meme. Whatever.
Yeah, it's a meme. It's popular culture.
Went to Pikachu real quick as I walked past the car in the handicap spot. He asked me where I was going as I walked over to my car. Then I turned around and made eye contact with him as I hit the button on my keys to unlock it and got in. He was starting to walk over to me, calling out that he was sorry about the misunderstanding, but I just put the car in reverse and left. I didn't even make eye contact with him as I drove away. ETA? I don't know what ETA means.
Estimated time of arrival?
Maybe, but we'll see. It says ETA : "This was my second interview, so the manager knows what I and my car look like. I don't know why he said he saw me. I'm assuming it was a lie to get me to admit I did it. I've pondered this many a night, trust me."
Yeah, that guy's weird. I don't know if this is really maliciously complying, though.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
he
she
didn't really do
showed
anything
him,
over the top.
but she just was leaving. Like,
right.
She was leaving anyway.
Yeah.
It's not like she's like, "Oh, well, I'll prove it then." Like, he said prove it, but like, she just left.
Complied.
Yeah,
Normal
compliance.
compliance.
You kind of just, you liciously complied. You've been liciously complied.
Been liciously complied. Yeah, of course. Interesting.
Yeah, I think the manager's the asshole in this one.
Yeah, he's for sure a dick.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's a CEO wants return to office. CTO plays it perfect. What is CTO? Do you know?
Technical
officer. Okay.
Maybe technology. It's usually one of those two.
Okay. All right. I work for a Spanish company. It's been like 7 or 8 years, and we know each other pretty well. I've known and worked with the CTO for like 10 years now. He's a cool guy that wants stuff done. Even before 2020, the work from home policy. Oh, it actually says the WFH parentheses work from home. This was posted 27 days ago, so weird. Work from home policy.
Shit now.
Yeah, for real. Work from home policy was extremely relaxed. You do you and have things done by the time we need it, and we're okay. So when the pandemic came, the transition was as easy as it could get. In fact, as a company and specifically on the tech team, we embraced the opportunity and started hiring people from outside the city for a cheaper salary than in the city, but for the people, a higher salary than the one they could get without moving into the city. I even moved out of the city during that time. Since CTO didn't want to be a sales guy, the company hired a CEO in 2021, an Englishman that came highly recommended and was stationed in his rural house in the English countryside. Looked like a cool, relaxed guy for a while. Once the pandemic ended, he started pushing rather heavily for a return to office, RTO, for everyone. He made polls, lengthy emails to everyone about how this fostered relationships and whatnot. He got really pushy, even complaining to CTO about it. So every time he came to Spain, people that lived around the city would go to the office just to be there, so CEO was happy. And then one time, CEO decided that he had enough about the whole RTO mandate, and CEO complaining. So on a random meeting of the tech team, CTO said, "Okay, next Tuesday, I want everyone in the office. If you live far away, book a train, drive, whatever you have to do. I'll pay, but be here." And so we did. That Tuesday, every single one of the tech team, including people that took a 2 or 3 hour trip to get there, was in the office. Guess who wasn't there? Yeah, the CEO. So CTO took a picture, emailed it to CEO saying something along the lines of, if you can't lead by example, don't push my people to do things that don't work. And we went to have a relaxing lunch and beers type of day. Aftermath, : RTO mandate never came to fruition. CEO was out of the company a year later. He closed the office since everyone works 100% of the time from home, and to his dismay, CTO is now CTO and acting CEO, and things are going smoothly.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Jeez, I'm out of breath, dude.
Well, send me the next one. I'll read it for you.
All right. I don't know how to send it. I'll just post a link.
Paste the link. Uplink this.
All right, man.
I need to read the next one.
There you go, sir.
Time. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck that guy. Fuck all return to office executives.
That was a really fucking cool thing by the CTO, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like he's like he was like the owner or founder of the company.
Yeah, from the beginning.
CTO probably had a different. That's usually a later position. Anyway,
yeah.
This one's titled, I use my meal plan to feed over 120 less fortunate people. This happened my freshman year of college about 20 years ago. This was posted 10 months ago, so about 21 years ago. My university had just invested big in a new dining hall. And to pay for their investment required all new students to buy a 150 meal plan both semesters. Seems familiar. I also had to do that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty normal. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Yeah, this was a big financial burden being from a lower middle class family. I mean, you're in the middle class. I'm like, you can afford a meal plan. You're already going to college, you know? Like, it's a... Anyway, this is 20 years ago, so that probably cost them 15 cents to get this meal plan. Shortly into it, my first semester, I found out that my friends that had the meal plans didn't use the rollover. Since I lived off campus, I knew I wouldn't be able to use them all. Heading into November, I realized I would end up with 60 to 75 meals left over, and I complained about this a lot to my family and friends and to the people on Reddit 21 years later, that it seemed like such a waste.
Mm-hmm.
I added that last part, a little bit editorial here. In comes the plan. My freshman year of college was also my cousin's senior year, and we hung out pretty often. He was the biggest trickster prankster type you will ever meet. He was so cool. One night, while we were drinking, he says, what if you brought a bunch of homeless people to use up your meals? How much would that piss off those self-righteous bast? Exclamation point. We laughed all night. But the more I thought about the idea, the more I really started to like it. We talked all weekend about it and hatched a plan.
Okay.
What do you think the plan is?
I mean, is there much of a plan?
No, it seems like you just kind of scan those people in. Like, now they have...
Right.
You can only scan in like 10 people total.
My master plan.
Who wants free food? Come to the dining hall and eat some shitty burgers.
That's right.
On Monday morning, we went down to the local Salvation Army around the corner. I have grown to really despise this organization, but in the early 2000s in small-time USA, it's what we had. Who cares, you know? You could just say we went to the Salvation Army. You don't have to, like... It's associated with bumps. You don't have to...
Let me tell you how I feel about the Salvation Army.
Yeah, you don't need to fucking grandstand. I know they're not great, but back then, that was whatever. We told the lady at the desk I would like to feed people in need with my meal plan. She was hesitant at first, but she said she was working with people that this would be a huge blessing to, especially during the holiday season. She helped me organize 2 days the following week where around 30 people would meet me at the dining hall. I would wear a certain hat so they could find me, and we would go eat. The day finally arrived, and all kinds of people are there. There were homeless people. There were families with kids. There was even one family
with homes.
There was even one family I will always remember that had a home. That also seemed embarrassed to take a handout, but I made an effort to talk to everybody and make them feel welcome. Because remember, I'm the hero. At noon, we headed into the dining hall. I walked up to the lady and said, "These people are with me. They are my friends. I would like to swipe them in." She looked confused, but reluctantly said, "Okay. Here are me and my closest 30 bum friends." To say that we got every reaction humanly possible would be an understatement. There were staff that were obviously annoyed with the influx of diners. Yeah. There were students that were laughing. There were students that were giving me the silent clap. There were snobbish faculty members that seemed to be disgusted at the type of people coming into the dining hall. You know what? Call me a snob. These people aren't paying. These are freeloaders coming into my dining hall.
Damn, dude. Okay.
I didn't care at all. Eventually, a head staff member came up and said that they knew what I was doing and they didn't like it. I said, these are my friends eating with me. I paid for these meals. Am I doing anything wrong? She was stumped. The next day, the same situation happened with the same reactions. It seemed that I had caused quite a stir on campus. And it just so happened that the university president was eating there that day. Bum-ass president. Eating at the dining hall.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
She came up to me and said even though she would ask that I not tell my friends to do the same thing with their meals, as the staff couldn't handle the influx of diners, she was proud that her students had the heart to do something for others like that. Okay, sure. The following semester I did the exact same thing. I even used meals sparingly so I could bring more people. The one memory that will always stick in my head is the family with these little kids. They were excited to go to the pizza bar and get some shitty fucking pizza. To this day, it's still one of the proudest moments of my life. Me and my friends and family still have a drink and chuckle over the story and the snooty, angry reactions I got. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm coming off a little bit as the man here because my first real job where I got paid was selling meal plans on campus. So this was like a direct it's just like a direct combatants to like what I was doing, you know. It's just like, you know, you're only allowed 10 meal plan like friend passes at the University of Alabama. They got around this shit. They're like, these motherfucking bums are freeing it out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, okay, I think this guy's doing a nice thing, right? But there's also just some sort of bad vibe that you get when you post about the good things that you do on the internet. You know?
Give me the points. I am the good person. 20 years ago, I did a good thing. I need it now. Thanks.
20 years ago, I did this one thing. Give me karma, please.
I'm 40 and I'm at home and I'm sad.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's nuts. I mean, that's kind of a smart idea, though. Yeah. I like the idea.
I had a similar mentality because, like, they gave us like 355. I think it wasn't unlimited, but it was. I mean, it might have been touted as unlimited, but I think it also might have just been 355 meals. Yeah. I don't know. I think that's what it was because it's a weird number to remember. And I was just trying to use them. Like, I was swiping in, grabbing a cookie and leaving, and then coming back an hour later, grabbing a cookie and leaving.
Well, the thing was, I did the math before, dude. And, like, the price of the plan, it was about $10 per meal swipe.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting my money's worth. I'll tell you that. Me going to Lakeside Dining or Riverside, I think it was Riverside. No, Lakeside.
Lakeside, yeah.
Yeah, I was right. I mean, I was right next to it, so it was pretty convenient. Just walk in, grab some shit, and leave. You know, I was always hitting up that Bryce Lawn Dining Hall. Bryce Hall. Yeah. Bryce, what's it?
The athletic dining hall?
Yeah, the good one. Yeah.
Bryant. Yeah, Bryant. I lived my freshman year. I lived there. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it was cool. This guy was an athlete / engineer.
That's right. One of the two. You decide.
Yeah, you get to if you're an athlete / engineer, you get to live in the dining hall like that's farther away from everybody else, but has the good food.
Yeah. Yep.
Except for you can't eat there for dinner. You can only eat there for brunch.
Yeah, pretty much. But they had an omelet bar, so it was okay. It did cost 2 meal swipes, so it was a good way to kind of.
But also, they were who cares? you know, it was
yeah, we had plenty. Yeah, I remember being upset about this too, being like, dude, if I have to pay $10 to get this fucking like charity food, you know,
I mean, it is charity food, bro.
it's pretty bad food. Like literally the best thing that they had at the dining hall I went to most often, the one near all the engineering buildings. The best food they ever had was like a fucking turkey burger. All right. Yeah,
like the turkey burger's pretty good. I had a few of those.
Yeah, I mean it's good, but it's sad that it has to be a turkey burger that's the best thing. Anyways, paying $10 for that, I could just go to Chipotle every day.
Yeah.
You know?
They also gave us like $300 too. Chipotle is good now.
It's mid. It's okay.
It's good. They people started filming them on online and posted it to social media, so they had to start giving more. But now, you know what? It could be worse. The Chipotle stock price went down about 8-10% this week because their CEO went from being the anti-union Chipotle CEO. Now he's the anti-union Starbucks CEO.
Oh, no way, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. What the hell?
Yeah, so they went from like Howard Schultz, who's like, he is the
union basher number one.
Yeah, he's a capitalist through and through. He's a big time CEO type economics or capitalist. I hate the little working man type, right?
Yeah.
Union busting bastard man. But then he's got some shit going on. So they got a different person, and this person would cave in. He acquiesced like a little small bit to these unions, right? So they ousted him. Also, didn't help that like I don't know the really progressive people hate Starbucks because of like the Israel thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So that's going on.
Damn. That's wild, dude. I didn't realize Chipotle would get cucked like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they lost their CEO to Starbucks, to Starbies.
Yeah, brutal.
Now it could go downhill. I would be devastated. Chipotle.
Dude, I have been to Starbucks less since I lived in Seattle than I did when I lived elsewhere.
Oh yeah, I don't go to Starbucks.
Yeah,
I'm more likely to go to the Starbucks inside of another store.
Right.
Like the Target or the Safeway Starbucks.
Mm-hmm.
Or the on-campus Starbucks, or the ones that was the Starbucks that I went to.
Yep, totally. Yeah, I
just go
recently,
to the coffee joint.
When I was on my trip last weekend, went to a Dutch Bros, which apparently originated in Oregon.
Shout out Dutch Bros. Love Dutch Bros.
Dutch Bros pretty good. It's not a coffee place. It's a fucking dessert place.
Yeah. But like, it's good. You know.
If they could make a drink that tasted the same but had zero coffee in it, they would do it. They would do it, dude. If they could just like inject pure caffeine into something and not have espresso shots, I bet they would do it.
Well, I mean, Panera did it and they got in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But they were injecting like 10 espresso shots worth of caffeine. So I don't know, man. It was good, but I was disappointed. Because I was looking for a quality coffee shop vibe, and that's not what I got.
All right, this next one's called Mom Splits Hairs with Nanny to Save a Few Dollars, Ends Up Back Paying Hundreds.
Ooh, is this malicious compliance?
This is malicious compliance from user Musasaurus. So do you want the TL didn't read, or do you want the full thing?
How long is the full thing, man?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actual paragraphs and then some follow-up.
I'll let you decide. How long is the TLDR?
It's 2 sentences.
Let's do the whole thing, man.
Karen and Ken are wealthy and extremely stingy. Their kids. Bob Henry is an extremely sweet, generous single dad who lost his husband a few years ago and dotes on his kid Steve. Okay. That's
just coming up with random names for these people.
That's just there. Okay, so there's Karen, Ken, Bob, and Henry, and Steve.
Yeah, and Steve.
So okay. Steve and Bob are kids. Henry, good guy. Karen, Ken, awful.
Yeah.
I've been a nanny for several years, and for the most part, I worked very lovely, very great families. I have contracts for every family that guarantees the hours that I work, so which is good. Even which is what you should have. Meaning, if a family goes on vacation, I still get paid because I'm technically available to work, but they chose not to use my services. I think gym memberships, etc. So this is not okay. Yeah, sure. Another bit on my contract is called the nanny share. So if 2 of the families want to combine for the day, each of them pays 2/3 of my regular pay rate. I get paid for watching more kids. And they save a little, only paying a portion of what they would have paid. Karen and Ken's family went to Hawaii 3 weeks ago, and per my contract, I was paid to be per usual. Before they left, they asked if I could come in and watch Bob, the asshole kid, Sunday after they returned, so that they could cover and rest. And my hours were set at 8 to 4 that Sunday. They went on a trip, everything was wonderful, and they texted me when they landed, saying they meet me at 8 a.m. The next day I was there. I was leaving at 7:30. Received a text from Bob saying that, hey, probably be late. Come to 8:30 instead. After the day of nanny night, Karen asked if I could stay past my regular hours during the upcoming week so that they could have 2 date nights. I agreed, and Karen said she would reimburse me for all the extra hours at the end of the week since it'd be easier just to make one payment. Yeah, sure.
Totally fair.
The week ended, and I ended up staying an extra 8 hours. That's a whole day of work, right?
Yep.
I asked Ken to pay me for 16 hours, but he said he had to talk to Karen. Whoa. Staying an extra 8 hours total. So, and then you asked to pay for 16. Okay.
Right. So does that mean they would have normally worked 8 hours?
Yeah, I guess.
And they were
she got got the contract down.
Yeah.
But he said I got to work over with my wife, make sure that it's set up. Got a text from Karen, said, hey, Meowsaurus, thank you for, she probably didn't actually say that. Thank you for covering this up this past week. Ken and I were feeling refreshed, and the show was great. Since we were in Hawaii, you were paid for an entire week while you weren't working. We don't think this is quite fair, since that is a large sum of money, so we'd like to apply some of those hours to your babysitting. Yesterday, we'll pay you for 8 hours instead. I was furious. Yeah.
Wait, did they worked extra 8 hours, but they asked for like double pay? Is that what they mean?
No, I mean she worked her normal. Like, I think she's like contracted. She's like, the way it seems in their contracts, like she's on retainer,
right? Yeah,
but still has some kind of hourly charge thing, I guess.
Sure.
They're trying.
Okay.
They think in their mind that, hey, you weren't working at all last week, and we wanted to. And we used you this week. Why am I paying you for it's not there? You signed the contract, lady. That's kind of what the way I think this story is going to go. Yeah. Based off the title, I'm pretty sure this situation didn't go well. She started counting all of her hours and fucked her, and that she's no longer going to be employed by these people. That's for sure. We are already being genius and paying for the holiday we took. We expect you to track your hours better next time. This is unacceptable. You need to be as accurate as possible. With the hours that we are paying you, we will pay you for 15.5 hours.
What the fuck, dude? Oh shit!
This is a difference of $12.50.
Yeah, that's insane.
I mean, that's a meal at Chipotle.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess.
But
you're on vacation in fucking Hawaii, right?
Yeah. These are rich people too. I was going to just reply with a part of the contract that said any rescheduling needed a 24-hour notice, but instead I went nuclear. Bob is Steve's kid. No, Bob is Henry's kid. No, their kid is Bob. Karen and Ken's kid is Bob. They should have had a K name, dude. Lady. Meowsaurus. Henry is Steve. So Steve is the other kid. I think he's about to be introduced now. Bob has been tagging along with Steve and me to music class and soccer twice a week outside of Karen's regular contracted hours since January. Karen has never offered to pay for these hours, but Henry was fine paying his full rate for those hours because Steve was having trouble making friends at school and had become close to Bob. I chose not to say anything about the slight bump in pay because I liked watching them play. Malicious compliance time, all caps. As Karen stated, I needed to be as accurate as possible. I calculated all the hours that Bob has joined us since January 6th. Tough. Since January. 6 hours a week times 18 weeks. And the total amount they owed me was $2,000. In the group chat with Karen, Ken, and Henry, I said Karen stated that if it was of utmost importance that I track the hours as accurately as possible. So I took it upon myself to double check everything, including the share hours. Thank goodness I did. I didn't realize we had forgotten to track all the hours that Bob joined us for soccer and music. Henry, I'm so sorry. Karen actually owes you quite a bit of money. If my calculations are correct, they owe you X to you and X to me. Henry replied, Karen, Ken, I'm disappointed to hear that Meowsaurus hasn't been compensated properly this entire time. I don't need my hours to be refunded for those hours because I wanted to see if he can use play dates, but you need to pay Meowsaurus's portion immediately. I got a huge chunk of money I wasn't expecting, and now I'm on the hunt for my next family. I'll be putting my 2 weeks notice with Karen and Ken as soon as I...
Damn, dude. That's kind of a sick story. I like that one.
Yeah. Also, but like, kind of crazy. Like, how good of a nanny are you?
Right. Yeah.
You're charging $25 an hour?
I mean, I feel like when was this posted?
Past year.
Okay. I feel like that's not a lot for like a babysitter. I feel like Babysit.
Now, I mean, that's
should
not,
be well paid.
It's $52K a year, which is actually not a lot of money. But
hey, fun fact, dude, that's more than many teachers around the country, dude.
Here's another fact. That's broke. 50K is broke. If you're making 50K, you're broke. Sorry.
Yep.
You already know this. I don't know. I don't really need to tell you that. You're broke. It's tough.
It's
tough.
bad.
It's tough.
In 2023, 2024, 50K is
not enough.
Not enough. Yeah. Damn, dude. That was a good story. I feel like that OP did the right thing, and it sounds like the parents of Bob weren't even gonna like fire her or like let her go or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to find good childcare.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to nickel and dime them.
Yeah, until they quit, I guess. I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. That's something that I hopefully don't have to worry about for a long time. So,
yeah, hopefully I'll be rich enough I won't have to care.
Yeah. Damn. Well, this has been a malicious compliance episode of FKA. If you guys have any stories of malicious compliance, I guess, let us know. How about you maliciously comply and rate us 5 stars on wherever you listen to this podcast at, and maliciously comply and send us emails to FKAthePod@gmail.com, and maliciously comply and follow us on Instagram and X and Threads and TikTok and on YouTube, and watch our freaking videos, about that?
Yeah,
How about
feel
you do
free
that?
to benevolently comply as well if you'd rather benevolently
comply if you want, or be a little stinker about it. How about that?
Yeah, be a big stinker in your email.
That's right. Give us your worst.
Try to get back pay on these 45 minutes.
Thanks, guys.
And gals. And 9 binary pals. Come on, bro. It's 2024.
Fuck. I messed it up.
Welcome to the pod where we spill the tea. FKA, yeah, that's me. We're gonna dive deep into the topics you need. Sit back, relax, and let's plant the seed. From pop culture to politics, we'll discuss it all. No filter.